So hi everyone, today I will tell you how the US economy works. In every economic system, entrepreneurs and managers bring together natural resources, labor and technology to produce and distribute goods and services. But the way these different elements are organized and used also reflects a nation's political ideals and its culture. The United States is often described as a capitalist economy, a term coined by 19th century German economist and social theorist Karl Marx, to describe a system in which a small group of people who control large amounts of money or capital make the most important economic decisions. Marx contrasted capitalist economies to socialist ones, which vest more power in the political system. Marx and his followers believed that capitalist economies concentrate power in the hands of wealthy business people who aim mainly to maximize profits. Socialist economies, on the other hand, would be more likely to feature greater control by government, which tends to put political aims, a more equal distribution of society's resources, for instance, ahead of profits. While those categories, though oversimplified, have elements of truth to them, they are far less relevant today. In the pure capitalism described by Marx ever existed, it has long since disappeared, as governments in the United States and many other countries live intertwined in their economies. To limit concentration of power and address many of the social problems associated with unchecked private commercial interests. As a result, the American economy is perhaps better described as a mixed economy, with government playing an important role along with private enterprise. Although Americans often disagree about exactly where to draw the line between their beliefs in both free enterprise and government management, the mixed economy they have developed has been remarkably successful. So, basic ingredients of the US economy. The first ingredient of nation's economic system is its natural resources. The United States is rich in mineral resources and fertile farm soil, and it is blessed with a moderate climate. It also has extensive coastlines on both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. As well as on the Gulf of Mexico, a river flows far within the continent and the Great Lakes. 5 large inland lakes along the US border with Canada provide additional shipping access. These extensive waterways have helped shape the country's economic growth over the years and helped bind America's 50 individual states together in a single economic unit. The second ingredient is labor, which converts natural resources into goods. The number of available workers are more importantly. Their productivity helps determine the health of an economy. Throughout its history, the United States has experienced steady growth in the labor force, and that in turn has helped fuel almost constant economic expansion. Until shortly after World War I, most workers were immigrants from Europe. They're immediate descendants of African Americans, whose ancestors were brought to the Americas as slaves. In the early years of the 20th century, large numbers of Asians immigrated to the United States, while many Latin Americans immigrants came in later years. Although the United States has experienced some periods of high unemployment and other times when labor was in short supply, immigrants tended to come when jobs were plentiful, often willing to work for somewhat lower wages than acculturated workers. They generally prospered, earning far more than they would have in their native lands. The nation prospered as well, so the economy grew fast enough to absorb even more newcomers. The quality of available labor, how hard people are willing to work and how skilled they are, is at least as important to country's economic success as the number of workers. In the early days of the United States, frontier life required hard work, and what is known as the Protestant work ethnic reinforced that trait. A strong emphasis on this education, including technical and vocational training, also contributed to America's economic success, as did a willingness to experiment and to change. Labor mobility has likewise been important to the capacity of the American economy to adapt to changing conditions. When immigrants flooded labor markets on the East Coast, many workers moved inland, often to farmland waiting to be tilled. Similarly, economic opportunities in industrial northern cities attracted Black Americans from southern farm in the first half of the 20th century. Labor force quality continues to be an important issue. Today, Americans consider human capital a key to success in numerous modern, high-technology industries. As a result, government leaders and business officials increasingly stress the importance of education and training to develop workers with the kind of nimble minds and adaptable skills needed in new industries such as computers and telecommunications. But natural resources and labor account for only part of economic system. These resources must be organized and directed as efficiently as possible. In the American economy, managers responding to signals from markets perform this function. The traditional managerial structure in America is based on top-down chain of command. Authority flow from the chief executive in the boardroom, who makes sure that the entire business runs smoothly and efficiently through various lowest level of management responsible for coordinating different parts of enterprise, down to the foreman on the shop floor. Numerous tasks are divided among different divisions and workers. In early 20th century America, this specialization of division of labor was said to reflect scientific management based on systematic analysis. Many enterprises continue to operate with this traditional structure, but others have taken changing views on management. Facing heightened global competition, American businesses are seeking more flexible organization structures, especially in high-technology industries that employ skilled workers and must develop, modify, and even customize product rapidly. Excessive hierarchy and division of labor increasingly are sought to inhibit creativity. As a result, many companies have flattened their organizational structures, reduced the number of managers, and delegated more authority to interdisciplinary teams of workers. Before managers of teams of workers can produce anything, of course, they must be organized into business ventures. In the United States, the corporation has been proved to be an effective device for accumulating the funds needed to launch a new business or to expand an existing one. The corporation is a voluntary association of owners who and stockholders form a business enterprise governed by a complex set of rules. So that's now for today. Wait for next video.